How you doing, guys? My name is Harrison Rivera, and this is my persuasive speech. When I tell you to think about the events that go on in March, what do you think about? A regular person might think about St. Patrick's Day, but for any sports fans, all they can think about is March Madness. March Madness is a sporting event held on by the NCAA that generates millions of dollars per year, yet none of the money goes to the athletes that are actually participating in it. I've been researching this topic for over a week, and I am here to tell you why I think there should be change. Today, I will be persuading you why I think the NCAA should pay their student athletes. Being a student athlete is like having a full-time job, and colleges use student athlete as a marketing tool. I think paying student athletes will in turn help them out for their future endeavor and overall benefit the school. Being a student athlete is like having a full-time job but not getting paid for. Writer Peter Jacobs, a writer for Business Insider, wrote an article on January 27 titled, "Here's the insane amount of money student athletes spend on practice," where he goes on to talk about how student athletes commit over 40 hours per week on just practice. 40 hours a week is like having a full-time job but not getting paid for it. Student athletes are used as spotlights, and being a student athlete and being a full-time student is extremely difficult. There is a cap, however, set by the NCAA in their handbook titled Defining Athletically Related Activities, where they go on to speak about how only 4 hours per day and up to 20 hours per week should be spent on practice on the on-season and 8 hours on the off-season. However, a lot of student athletes don't follow these rules because being a student athlete in college, you are set to higher standards. Practice on alone, however, isn't regulated, so a lot of student athletes take their time practicing alone. Writer Ellen Anderson, a writer for College Raptor, wrote an article where she goes on to speak about how 12 units of school should be accounted for 36 hours of work, making it difficult for student athletes to decide if they want to spend their time either practicing or on schoolwork. Overall, I think student athletes are considered a marketing tool. Even writer Maxwell Cornell, a writer for St. Mary College Sports Department, wrote an article on March 14th, 2020, titled "Success in Sport, Does It Bring in More College Applications?" where he goes on to speak about how Boston had an increase of 30% in applications after football player Doug Flutie Hail Mary a pass to win over powerhouse of Miami. Playing a sport that you love shouldn't be a decision if you're going to commit time into being an athlete or if you're going to be in schoolwork. I think sports play a huge decision in where students will go, because overall I think students will want to go to a winning team that has a good athletic program and make it so it's exciting for them to go to games and overall boost school spirit. This in turn will let colleges have a higher tuition price to be accepted because they can charge a premium. So the schools could profit more from the students that will be coming in future semesters, and overall be more selective in who they allow inside. Now that I explained to you why I think student athletes should get paid, I will go into how I think we should solve this. Obviously, I think we should pay student athletes and change the rules that are set in place so student athletes don't get paid. I think there should be an agreement within the school and the students when it comes to how much time they should practice and what they would be getting paid for. A writer for UBIC wrote an article named "What is an Athletic Scholarship?" where he goes on to speak about how coaches have a budget set for scholarships and where the money is divided upon. Scholarships won't cover the entire cost of tuition. So obviously students will have to decide if they want to get a job or be a student athlete. Colleges obviously profit from the success of the college program, and it's crazy that the students will get nothing in return, not even a free education. Scholarship isn't enough for the efforts that they are providing for the schools. Students have to make the decision between either the passion or work so they can attend the school. There's not enough time within being a student athlete, having a regular job, and being a full-time student. So I think paying the students will take a huge burden off their shoulder, and will let them have high grades so they can even participate within the activities of the school. I think paying the student athlete will set them up for their future endeavor, and so they have a degree and money saved in their bank account so when they do graduate. So they wouldn't have to start from zero, and none of the time is wasted if the student athlete isn't drafted for the sport that they are playing. I think they would eventually see that the efforts that they put in for the school, they got something in return. They will have a huge appreciation for the school. They'll have an education, and they will be paid for the thing that they love doing. I think compensation will also give them a huge motivation to even win more. In conclusion, I think that I have persuaded you enough to change why the NCAA should pay the student athletes and not use them as a marketing tool. There should be an agreement of where the student athletes and the school have like a contract in place. And being a student, a college student, is extremely hard, and I think being a student athlete is even harder. And which is why I think there should be accountability for the schools, so they can pay the student athletes for all the hard work that they put into it. Thank you.